Hello! In the last 5 videos we practiced many-to-many relationships and basic methods to work with them like attach, detach and sync. Today we will start to learn how to query the relationships, how to call some methods to retrieve only the needed data. So, I already made some relations between categories and codes. Now we can make some queries. But let's look at documentation. Here we can use not only the methods in documentation in querying relationships, but also, in addition, all types of elegant relationships also serve as query builders, allowing you to continue to chain constraints onto the relationship query before finally executing the SQL query against your database. So let's start. So first, methods are where and orWhere methods. It works the same as the where method in SQL and adds some conditions to the query. So first of all, we need to retrieve one category. Let's call the variable just category, and as category I will pick the second category. I guess it's love. Category, yes, second one is love. So now with this category variable, we will apply to it again our quotes method, which we wrote in the first videos in model. Then we will use this where method. So I guess we will find quotes where text is like est. I think in Latin language common use est, and of course we should use get here. Yes, and for the end let's just dump it. Let's name it as a result. Yes, result. So let's clear our cache and move to our browser. So here we have our main page, and let's use our route. Our route is querying. So now we have 5 items which contains in the text est. Not just contains in this text, but that quotes who appropriate to the which related to the second category. So here I guess est is here for the second item. For the second item, est is as first word, of course, and let's just check the last one. Est is here, so it works. Now maybe we will make it. We will display it in a more appropriate way. I think by loop. So for each result as item, maybe by echo bear, or I think a pre will be better. So item, it will be closed pre. Yes, and here we will use the same. Also pre. Let's comment this die and dump. Again, clear our cache and try it in our browser. So yes, we have five items which contains in their text est. This is this est. Okay, but let's duplicate this tab. You will know the reason a little bit later. Just duplicate the tab. Yes, and let's try orWhere method. So we have where, and then as a second one we will use orWhere, where I think author would be equal to Rosalind Fitch. Let's again clear our cache and try it in our browser. Let's refresh it. So now we have not 5 items but about 7, I guess. No, not 7, 8 items. We got 8 items, but there are some issues here because we see duplicated 7th item. I think it's duplicated, is the same quote, and we see duplicated 20, which we didn't see in the first query, because I suppose because it's not related to the second category. Let's look to our database, and here we see, not here, I guess, yes, Rosalind Fitch. We've got it 1 time, and second and third. I guess third one didn't work because it didn't relate it to any quote, it didn't have related, or so this query is incorrect, what I'm trying to say. Let's I think the last one is not it didn't have this 21 ID in our intermediate table. Yes, only 20. That's why it didn't grasp it. Yes, it didn't cover it. So we have 2 problems, like 7th quote with ID 7 and 20. So let's check it by SQL, I guess. Yes, in order to see the whole query in SQL. So here let's comment this loop, and let's use our die and dump, uncomment it, get rid of get, remove it, and here for result I guess we should use to SQL method, like this. Yes, again we will clear our cache and refresh the page. So we have this SQL query. Let's just save it. Yes, and then we will compare it with another one. So copy it, and maybe we will paste it in the SQL console and format it like this, I guess. So here we see that this author is not related to the category. That's why it took the twin with quote with is not fit to our category, and I think these 2 conditions must be grouped. So we will make it I guess by closure. Yes, in documentation there is also second one. When we use second orWhere, However, use caution when chaining orWhere clauses onto a relationship, as the orWhere clauses will be logically grouped at the same level as the relationship constraint. So in this situation, the query is no longer constrained to a specific user. In our situation, is no longer constrained to a specific category. So, and here we will see another example with closure. So let's do the same in our code. So here I guess we'll drop it here and comment it for now. And here we will just use where and get, I suppose. And in this where we will use I think closure function, something like this. Yes. And here we will use builder instance, builder I guess of database allocant. Yes. And we will name it as a query, and this closure will return query, query, and just yes, cut it from here like this. Maybe also drop it, and of course semicolon, something like this. So return query with text like est and orWhere author Rosalind Rich. Yes, get rid of this line. So I think for now die and dump we will comment it and just uncomment our loop for better view. Yes, I think this should work. Let's again clear our cache and just try it in our browser. As we refresh it, despite that it has like the same conditions, it shows only 10 wait, not 10, 5 items that are appropriate to our second category. So Rosalind Rich is here. I think this works because it restricted again. So maybe we will try with another author, not with another author, but I guess with another text, in order to see that the second orWhere with author works. So for example, I think Latin text doesn't contain some words like aspiration. Yes, again clear our cache and try it in our browser. It works. So second orWhere, so our second method is also works. As we can see, Rosalind Fridge only yes, only one item. Okay, so we solve this issue, and maybe we will compare our SQL. Yes, let's compare it. I think this get must be commented, loop commented as well, and just to see the another SQL. Yes, so let's clear our cache again and switch to our browser. Let's refresh it. So here we see the SQL query. Let's move to our dbeaver, paste it here, format it. Oh, yes, I did something wrong. So as you can see, here we see the parentheses, like logical grouping, like it displayed like each written in our documentation. We see here, in most situations you should use logical groups to group the conditional checks between parentheses. So by closure we logically grouped it. So this is it. Let's move to the next methods.